Hello, welcome to Biash and Klutz Knitting and Crochet. My name is Maria. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this video on the Flower Species channel, Facebook, or here, so I'm just going to say Biash and Klutz Knitting and Crochet, where I'm not going to edit anything. If the phone rings, it rings. If my cat jumps in and says hello, he does. If I drop stitches and make a mess of everything, you're going to see it all, unfortunately. Because I'm out of disk space and I can't keep uploading videos and editing. And I'm really bad at editing. Okay, so I found a really cool pattern. It's looking like Valentine's Day in my house suddenly. And I like it. Okay, so I found a cool pattern on Ralvery. And where I first found this pattern was a year ago. On the most favorite gloves for gifting. And it was at Crochet Central and 123 Crochet, and it was also listed on Moogly's blog for favorite go-to gift gloves to gift. And these are called the Easy Victorian Shell Mitts. And I'll go ahead and try them on so you can see them. They're just little wristlet gloves, but they're made with shell stitch, which makes them really very Victorian looking and just really sweet. I think they're really sweet. Designer is Bron Green, Brongren, and she has a really nice blog at bronsblog.com. Her pattern is listed everywhere, but the actual download is at ralvery.com. And you can find it under Easy Victorian Shell Mitts. Okay, and she gives a little tip in her download to, if you're gifting these, to throw in a little bit of nail polish that matches them. And I think that's a cool idea. There are one size. So anybody that's getting these from me, well, you might just get nail polish. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe give them a little thumb ring or something dazzly, but. The point is, you don't have to wear these outside. You can wear them inside when you're doing your computer work. When you just want warm, cozy hands when you're just cold. I absolutely love these. I made a mistake and misspoke the other day and said I was using papaya pink, but this is actually bubblegum pink. It's really nice. And I only had enough bubblegum pink to make one pair. So I know exactly what friend these are going to. I would call her my hot pink, bubblegum pink gal. Okay, the color I'm wearing is more of a papaya pink. And I have that color too. I had made a little hat for my third cousin last year. Maybe it was the year before. Probably the year before. For her. It was the year before. And it was really cute. And I had a little bit left over, so it was practice color. But this one is bubblegum. I gotta get more pink, for sure. So I think it's going to be a popular one. Okay. Then I had holiday yarn that Red Heart put out called, this one is their Christmas collection of Love Soft Holiday. It's called Red Heart Love Dazzle. Okay. And I just think these are precious for Christmas. And this is Santa Red. Santa suit red. There's all kinds of colors they have, but I only picked up one red. I can't believe I only bought one red. I'm looking back at what I have left to work with. But I'm going to show you, out of the amount of red that I did, I made a hat. This is called the Shy Butterfly hat, which I have to wash and block. So it's a little big. This is. I made it a little bigger for my head, for someone else's head, but her head's not that much bigger than mine, but it's a gift. So this is called the Shy Butterfly, and you can see the little butterflies in there. See those butterflies? It's supposed to be a little bit of a slouchy. I didn't want to make it too big for the lady I'm making it for. And these go perfect with it. I think so. I just like wearing them. Okay, so I'm getting ready to wash this and wash these with it, and then let them dry in a room where my cat will not go to. And then put them in a light, like a plastic linen thing that he can't get to. So the other thing that's really cool is, now this is just me and my eclectic artsy weirdness, is I would actually have no problem wearing mix match gloves. Oh yeah. Because you see people with the mix match socks all the time. They're very trendy and in style. They sell them for, QVC sells the different pattern socks and different color socks, and why not do different colored? We could do that. You can do that. But imagine giving somebody, you know, a hat that goes with it. Any shell hat would work. You're just working a ribbing. Any knit or crochet shell hat would work. The shy butterfly pattern here would work just fine. Just fine. Anything with a little bit of lace in it would work. So a hat and little gloves. Well, a little bit of, I keep saying pear, I don't know. Maybe a little file and nail file and a little clear little nail polish or something, right? And then you got a whole gift there. Not bad. So these are really simple to make. Without any further ado, let's just go make them. Just keep them like this because it reminds me of Valentine's Day, which might be in the stores already the way we're going this year. I feel like it was just Labor Day a minute ago. Okay, so to my cousin Tina, the red gloves and the red hat is coming to you. Or if I can get somebody to come to me to pick them up right after I wash them, that would be even better because I don't want them hanging around the house at all. And I don't think I'm going to make it to the post office. We'll see. Let's see. Okay. So what you need is yarn. Bron Green designed these, and it's a beautiful, like I said, a beautiful design pattern. She used Knit Picks yarn, and her project, her gloves are shown if you go to Ralvery, with Dusty Lavender, and the Knit Pick line that she used is called Mainline. That's the yarn she used. They're discontinued now, but what they are is 70% cotton and a combination of polyester and wool. I don't work with wool, and that brand is discontinued. So when you click on that link, it will tell you a bunch of comparable yarns. If you really want yours to look just like Brons in that lavender and be that, just that kind of stretchiness and that look, that weight, they will give you a ton of comparable yarns. Otherwise, what Bron is saying is true. You can use any Aran or worsted weight yarn. So I'm using Red Heart. I'm using all combinations. This one here is Lion's Brand. I'm going to be using that next, variegated. This one is called Earthen Green, and it's Red Heart, and it is the Love Soft. And what we're going to do first is to make a Slipknot. You will need a 4.0 G hook. G 4.0. You see that? 4.0 G hook. Okay. You'll need some kind of a embroidery needle or a large eye tapestry needle that you can fit your yarn in. If you want, you don't have to have this, but if you want, get it out. You can use a little bobby pin or place marker, stitch marker, if you wanted to, because we're going to be working in the round. If you wanted to mark somewhere where you are, but you don't have to. If you have a little row counter, it would come in handy with this because you're going to do 22 rows of the same thing. Although there's a way to count the rows that you don't need that, or if you have popcorn in the house, pennies, change, whatever, anything, calculator, cell phone, scratch pad, just want to sit quietly and count in your head, do that too. Whatever, that's it. That's all you need in a pair of scissors. Okay, all you need to know how to do for this pattern is to make a slip stitch, which everyone makes different. I make mine by just holding a short tail over my long tail, grabbing that, and pulling it. Okay, our needle in here. We're going to chain 10. To chain, I'm going to yarn over and dip down. Yarn over and dip down. And I'm doing this row. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 10. I'm going to do this one loosely. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. You don't have to do it loose. I'm doing the first row loose because I want to be able to see what I'm doing, and you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. We're going to be working into the back loop of these. So you're going to be turning these so that you're looking at them like this. Instead of looking at them like this, so instead of looking at the actual loops where you're going to go down in between the two loops, or looking at the spine where you're going to be maybe working into the little bumpies, you're going to actually turn it sideways. So you're going to be looking down into the stitches. Okay? And we're going to work into the second stitch from the hook. So you're going to count down. We're not going to count this that's on the hook, that loop. We're not going to count that. We're going to count 1, 2. This is the stitch we're going to be working into. So we're going to turn it towards us. And we're going to go right down into the middle of the stitch and grab our back loop. Pull out the loop, yarn over, and pull through. You've just single crocheted. And now your back loop will be kind of standing right up for the next stitch, looking at you to grab it. So you're going to do this all the way across, and you should have, let me just check that. You should have 9, okay? The first row is a little bit jiggity. It is for my eyes. I usually have to put my glasses on for the first row. You want to make sure you have 9 stitches. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of hard to hold on to the first row. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Now all of you seasoned veteran tutorialists out there, you know how hard it is to get through that first row and look like you know what you're doing. You don't. It's hard to do. Okay, so now is when you're going to start keeping track. You're going to chain 1 and turn. Chain 1, turn. And now is when I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my counter. And you're going to keep track from row 2, because that's row 2. You're just going to go right down in and grab that back loop. I'm going to do this 22 rows. Music I have on in the background, if you can hear it, YouTube people or Facebook people, is my own music. Please don't end my video because of it. It is the Christian Contemporary station on Music Choice, which is on Spectrum Cable, which I pay for my cable and my rent, and then I pay for the channel extra because I like it. I like to have the music channels. I can mix them up and do a little, oh, I missed a stitch there. See, talking gets me from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the beginning. Missed one. Should put my glasses on too. But I like the different channels that you can listen to what kind of music you want to. So That's what's on the background. So I hope I've credited everyone everywhere. I really appreciate having found a nice little download that is a nice gift that really you can just make a little something for everyone. I feel like you gave a substantial gift from your heart, you know, well, handcrafted something that you can't make too many mistakes on. This is row 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm ending up with more here. That's okay. I think I counted wrong, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm ending up with 10. That's okay. You know what? If you end up with 10, I know I threw an extra stitch in right there. I can see it. Just chain 1 and turn. This is row 4. I'm just going to ignore that one and it'll be fine. I'll straighten it out. So right here is where I threw that stitch in. I'm going to go. And it won't be too noticeable. Just at all. There really isn't much you can do wrong with this pattern. It's a nice, chill, kind of relax and crochet. Nice little mindful thing. You're not going to mess it up if you go, if one stitch is a little off somewhere. You just want to straighten it out. That's all. Okay, so now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get to the end here. One thing I will say is there is a end loop right here. It's right here on the end that you're going down into for that last stitch. Yeah, there. Okay. But you don't want your edges to be crooked. So you can't even see that I had that extra stitch there. I took it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm back to 9. Chain 1, turn down at the center. And now you can really see. You've got something to hold on to. You can really see what I'm talking about as you go down into the center. Pull that back loop up. Pull up a loop, yarn over. And this is really all you're doing. Oh, I almost did a double crochet. It's wrapping. It's going crooked there on this side, so I'm going to add one in here. I'm having trouble with this row here. Okay, that's good. So you just keep going like this, and you can count your rows by counting 1, and then you're going to count your ridges 1, 2, 3, and you're on your 4th one now. So that was 4 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going on to 5 now. You just count your ridges. So this is 6. Up there. count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Chain 1, turn, and you can see it's going that way, just the way it's supposed to go. It's going straight, not crooked on the side. It's going nice, nice. So I'm just going to go off camera and finish my little ribbing band here. You would do this if you wanted to make a band for a hat. And you're just going to slip stitch it together when you're done. If you wanted to make boot cuffs, you would do the same process, crocheting. Knitting, you would do a double ribbing or a single ribbing or a combination ribbing. Like maybe knit, 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 purl, purl, or knit, knit, purl, purl, or knit one, purl one kind of thing. You could make these gloves knitting too if you're not a crocheter. And for years I was not really a crocheter, I was more of a knitter. What I would do is a double ribbing and working around. And then find a stitch find a shell stitch in knitting. And you got it. And you just shape your glove, shape your gusset, your thumb gusset by decreasing. That's it. That's all you gotta do. So I'm gonna so you can get the same look by knitting. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm gonna go off camera and finish making my little band, and I'll be right back to show you the lace pattern and how to shape the gusset, and then you'll be done. Okay, so I have my 27 or 22. I'm sorry. Don't follow what my mouth is saying. Just follow what my hands do. Because I can't keep the two of them straight. Alright. So it should look like this, and if I look, it's right down close. Okay. So you're going to fold it over, and we're going to slip stitch. And I'm going to stretch my stitches out while I'm doing that, so I make sure to get a good connection here. The end one can be kind of weird, so I'm just pulling it in like that. Actually, that wasn't a slip stitch, that was more like a... Yeah, okay, don't follow what my hands do, follow what my mouth says, whatever. Alright, I need to go the other way with this. Your yarn should definitely be in the back when you're slip stitching, so I'm going to flip it this way. There we go. It's totally right. Whatever. We're going to flip it anyways. Okay, so the yarn's in the back. So I just flipped it the other way so that my yarn was more comfortable in the back. Doesn't really matter as long as you can flip your yarn to the back. You're going to go in each stitch like this and grab your yarn through and grab it through that last little one. It's kind of like when you cast off. I always think of slip stitching. So you're going through both loops. You're grabbing your yarn and you're pulling it through the stitch, and then you're pulling it through that loop. You're kind of like locking off that stitch. And then lining up everything, going into the next one. And if you have it really lined up, you will be fine. Okay, it's pretty snug. I keep checking, I keep opening it to look, see. But you can just keep your finger in between there just to feel if it feels like it's getting snug. Okay. Make sure it's really snug. So sometimes I take an extra stitch when I'm slip stitching, and it's okay to do that if you want to do that. If you want it extra snug, you don't want your wristlet falling apart, but you don't want it too thick either, so it's uncomfortable on the arm. You don't want a bumpy spot there either. Okay. But matters not, because if we look at it this way, it doesn't show, and what we're going to do is we're going to flip it on itself. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fasten off, and everybody fastens off differently. I'm going to take a stitch with both my tail and my yarn there. Pull that through. Just get rid of it. I just want that extra tight. Okay. And the way I fasten off, and like I said, everybody does this different, is cut my yarn here on the bottom and pull it through the loop here and pull it up like that. Okay. Now I have a ridiculous amount of yarn, but it's okay. Right? Looks a little puckery there, but it'll straighten out when I put the stitches in. We're going to flip it on itself. Like this. So now the slip stitch row is on the inside. Okay? And we're going to put it on with our tails facing on top. So fits fine. And it will go all the way up. Fine. We're going to work vertically now. So we're going to reattach our yarn. We're going to go right back to where our first single crochet was, where our tail should be. So it should be in that spot. I'm going to clear my row thing. Right. And everybody reattaches their yarn differently, but we're going to go into that first single crochet that we did, that we began with, which mine is right here. Okay. And I'm going to attach this way and use part of my tail to connect. So what we need to do is chain 3, 1, and I'm going to drop that little short tail there now and just work with this. 2, 3. And what we're doing here is a beginning shell. We're going to do that in every single row. It's going to say BEG shell. This is the beginning shell. You are going to go into your stitch and chain 3, then yarn over and double crochet in that same stitch, chain 1, yarn over, and do 2 double crochets in that same stitch. Then you have what's called the beginning shell. It's not a full shell, it's the beginning shell. And when we go to meet up with this chain 3 here on the other side, you'll be connecting. So what we're looking for here is 6 shells and double crochets. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be treating this as we're just going to be looking at the rows. We're not going to look for single crochets anymore. Like you're normally working into a round single crochet, you're not gonna be seeing that. You're just gonna be looking at the vertical rows. So we're just gonna be going by rows, and we're going to skip 1 row, which would be this one here, and go into the next one, and we're gonna double crochet right into the side. See how the stitch looks like a side of a single crochet now? So skip here and go into the side here, sorry. Skip this row, go into here and do a double crochet right here. Okay. So then it's got kind of this little angly thing going on. I'm going to skip 1 row and go into the side stitch, which is right here. Side stitch right here. Skip this row, go into this row, and do a shell stitch, which is 2 double crochet. I'm going to do that one different because it looks a little loopy there. It's a little weak looking. But when you're going into the side stitch, try to make sure you get under the 2 loops, or it'll look weak. Weak? Is that the word I want? Weak and look loose. So, not fluffy. I can't think of the word right now. You're going to double crochet twice in the same space, chain 1, yarn over, and double crochet twice. And now you've completed a shell. Okay? So you have your beginning shell, which is a chain 3, double crochet in the same space, chain 1, 2 double crochet. Then you have your shell, which is 2 double crochet into the same space, chain 1, 2 double crochet. Then you skip this row here, go into the next row, and you're working into the sides of the single crochet. So you're going to do a double crochet. Okay. And then skip this row and come into the side and do a shell again. Chain 1. And you can slow down this video if you want to. And if you know how to do this, then by all means just race ahead and you don't have to watch it all. You just see what you need to see and that's it. Okay, skip one row and then we're working into the sides. I'm going to explain this. So the sides look like they're on the side and you're working rows instead of single crochet. So skip this row and we're going to do a double crochet right here. And I'm comfortable going right underneath that instead of into the one that skip here, a shell here, and I'll do this one slower. You're going to yarn over, double crochet, pull up a loop, you've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, you've got 4, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, okay, chain 1, yarn over, go into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, you've got 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2, yarn over, go in to your stitch, grab your hook, kind of bring them up so that they're the same length, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So your shell will be making sense. It'll be regular, is what I want to say. It'll be shaped well. So, some of your shells are all very simple. Okay, skip this one, go into the next one. Do your double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let me stick these down in here now because I don't need them as a guide right now. Get them out of the way. Come through here, little strands. There we go. Okay, so you're going to end on a shell. So you're going to skip this one. You're going to do a shell right here. So it's 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet in the same spot. Excuse me. Okay. So you are right here now, and you're going to go into that chain 3 space to the top and slip stitch. I'm going to do a better join than that. My glasses on, I can do a much better join. You want to get through the 2 loops on the top. Slip stitch through like that. You've got your first row of shells made. You should have 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now, row 2, and you only got 7 rows to do. So we're gonna that was row 2. No, was that row 1? That was row 1. Okay. Okay, so 2 through 7, what we're going to do, this is 2. This is row 2. That was row 1 from the cuff. Sorry about that. You're going to go ahead and, let me get this out. The viewer is in my way here. I don't know how to move it. Come on, move for me. Nope, it does not. Let's see. Oh, goody. Yay. Okay, so you're going to slip stitch into Wait a minute, let me do that again. So make sure you're in the chain and not the stitch like I just was. But make sure you're in the chain. Make sure you're in the 3 chain space top and not the first double crochet. Okay? Because we need that first double crochet to slip stitch into for row 2. I'm going to slip stitch right into that first double crochet. And now we're going to slip stitch right in between where we did the chain 1 in the shell. We're going to slip stitch right there. We're going to do all rows from 2 to 7 just like this. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the same space you're going to do a double crochet and chain 1, and then do 2 double crochets in the chain, that same space, which is our beginning shell, and that is the beginning of our row for the entire pattern, except maybe row 8 where it's the gusset. So you'll always have that little guide of that 1, 2, the beginning shells. You always want those. Okay, you always begin the beginning shells by slip stitching into the first double crochet. Your slip stitch joining into the chain 3 top, then you're slip stitching into the first double crochet, and then you're slip stitching into the chain in between. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're right on top of our double crochet. Let me turn it around so you can see it. So our double crochet is right here. So now you're just following the pattern for everything. So we're going to double crochet here. And our shell is right here. And we're going to do a shell in between the shells. So we're going to go in that chain space we have right here. So that chain space that right there. You go right into there and do another shell. Chain 1, okay, and you're right on top of your double crochet right here. So you're just following the pattern along, and you're set up for your shell right here. That seems wrong. Seems like I almost did a triple there. Hang on 1 second. It felt crochet memory. It felt wrong. Chain 1. I apologize for the camera not being able to get right on my hands. My camera won't go specifically down on my hands the way most tutorialists are doing that, and I have no way of like putting it on top or behind me, or can't figure out quite how to do it. I know it would be a better tutorial, but that's why I'm kind of staying with you to walk you through it for beginners only. I know most people that crochet know how to do this. I always found crochet patterns very wordy and difficult. I would get lost in the words and be afraid to go anywhere. Like if it said, it wasn't that way with knitting for me, but with crochet it was like so many words. And if it said turn, I would be like, where? Turn where? Which way? Go where? Chain where? You know, do this in the next stitch. Okay, which next stitch? The next stitch that looks like this, or I would overthink it all the time. So I always appreciate a tutorial where people stay, even if they're a little longer tutorials, people stay with you and just kind of walk you through it. Okay, so we're right up to here again, and we're going to slip stitch into that chain space right there, into the top of it. And this is row 3. We're going to slip stitch into that first double crochet right there. And then we're going to slip stitch into the chain space right in between, and chain 3. 1, oops, 1, 2, 3. Yarn over to double crochet, get it. I got a snag or one. Little split. Okay. Double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. So that's our beginning shell. This is row 3. So we're just going to go on. Your double crochet is right there waiting for you, right there. There's rows of them, you can see them. Carry on like that until you get to row 7. Just shell right here, shell. And I'll be right back and meet you at the end of row 7, going into row 8, where we shape our thumb gusset, and then it's just very easy from there. Be right back. Hi, I wanted to come back. I'm on row 4 and just tell you really quick that when you're when you go ahead and join and begin for your next row, I don't want anyone to be confused. I've been saying shell, that you're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet in the shell, and then slip stitch into the chain 1 between the shell. It's the beginning shell. We're joining to the beginning shell, and we've only done a chain 3, then we've done 1 double crochet and chain 1, and so that 1 double crochet is there, and then the chain, and then the 2. So I didn't want anyone to be confused by that. Okay, thanks. I'll come right back when I'm on row 4. When I'm on row 7, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I have my 7 rows, and you can just count your shells if you don't have a row counter or whatever. Just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count your little shells all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or just count your double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good way to keep track. Okay, so I've just joined, and now this is row 8, and we're creating the shape for the gusset. And what we're going to do here is we're going to slip stitch into the next 7 stitches. Now, don't get too confused by this, because the main thing is that we're going to end up with our after the 7 slip stitches, we're going to slip stitch into the chain space between a shell. So if you're not there, you want to get there. So go anywhere you need to go there. It won't make much of a difference. So we're going to go 1 slip stitch into the first double crochet. I'm going to go ahead and use that because it's every stitch. So I'm going to use the chain space in between the shell. 2, 3, the third shell, 4, or the third double crochet on that shell, okay, and then the double crochet. Oh wait, that one didn't go in very well. I'm a knip about this, so we slip stitched into all of the shells and the chain space, so that's 5. Right, and then the double crochet is 6, and then we'll see about that. Okay, so you want to end, doesn't matter at all. If you have that second double crochet there, it's okay. You want to end in the middle of the chain space right there. Just make sure you slip stitch across 7 stitches. Just find your little 7 stitches to get into. And you want to be right in between a shell right there. Okay? So you do whatever you have to. It won't make a difference. I've done it many different ways so far with this. Okay, so now that you've slip stitched into your chain 1 of your shell, you're going to go ahead and make a beginning shell. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and that is again double crochet in the same space, chain 1, double crochet twice into that same space. Okay. So you're following that back up, but we've slip stitched, and that's going to be the area that is open. Okay, so now I'll come back when we get to the end of this, because what you're going to do now is you're just going to follow this right along and double crochet into the next double crochet like we've been doing, right? And then making our shell, just 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. So I'm just going to go all the way around, and I'll come back and show you how to end this because it matters. Row 8 and 9 matter to the thumb gusset, and then row 10 and 11 is what we've been doing. I'll be right back. So just keep doing what you've been doing. Go into your double crochet next. All right, not doing anything different yet. We're just doing the 2 shaping rows, but until you get around to the other end, we're not doing anything different, so just keep doing your pattern. Okay, so finishing up to get to the gusset, you're going to end on a shell, and you're skipping a double crochet, a shell, and a double crochet. You're skipping over that, and you're going to go ahead and slip chain 1, at the end of row 8, chain 1, skip over that double crochet, shell, double crochet, and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 space right here. Okay, and then row 9, it should look like this right now. It should have this little thing coming out here, like that. Okay, it's all going to make sense in the next row, and then you're just going to do 2 more rows. So then in row 9, you're going to slip stitch into, like we've been doing, into the next double crochet there, and then slip stitch into the chain space right there. And go ahead and make your begin shell right there. So chain 3, 3, kind of redundant at this point, and double crochet 1 in the same space, chain 1, and then get down in that space and do 2 double crochets. That's my space. 2. Okay, and so now you have your beginning chain. So you should have your chain 3, your 1 double crochet, your chain 1, and your 2. And then you just go on as usual, and your double crochet is right there waiting for you. You double crochet into that. Your shell is right here. It's smaller, so you just kind of stretch your stitches out to get around it easier, so that your tension doesn't get all jiggity. So chain 1, squirrely all over. Just do your shell, and then your double crochet is right here. I feel a sneeze coming out. I'm like, ah, trying to hold it back. Okay, and then your shell is here. And I think of people that have like red, auburn, moon, gold tones in their hair. They're kind of they're real redheads. I think look great with. I call it moon gold. It's a color I like. It's kind of like an amberish moon gold. I think they can wear this color really well. It looks great on them. And a little hat, scarf. You could do a little, if you don't have a lot of yarn left, you could do a little thin frilly shell scarf, like a narrow scarf. You could just wear, and it could be very decorative over, maybe just keep the little neck warm over a, I don't know, a little dress-up blouse or something. You could just throw their little long, skinny, which are popular, to make them a little frilly. They don't take much work. You can use up your yarn and have a nice little set. There's lots of things you can do. Okay, so when we get over here, we have this obvious hole, which is for the thumb gusset. But then how do we bring this together to make sense? We add in the double crochet in that one chain space right there. So go right into that one chain space. Turn the yarn over first. Go into that one chain space. Drop a loop. We're ending with a double crochet right there. And then we connect right here. Okay? And that's really you can see how it brings it together here. Okay? That's all you really need to know how to do. Now all you're doing is you're going into your first double crochet, you're slip stitching, and then you're slip stitching into your next chain of your beginning shell. Then you're chaining 3. Then you're making your beginning shell again. Chaining 1. And you're doing 2 double crochet right there. And your double crochet is right there waiting for you. Just yarn over, go right into it, and just finish this up all the way around. That's it. So that was 9. You're going to do 2 more rows. So 10, 11. So you're going to have 11 rows. You're just going to go all the way around. So I'll meet you back at the end of row 11. Okay, and we are done. That's it. That is it. Done. Now each yarn will work up differently. Like this one might be a little bit more, for me this one is a little bit more tight in the hand, which I'm trying to figure out why, but it could be my range. Or maybe I didn't pull it up enough. I don't know. It's just a little more snug, this one. Could be the way I'm working too. I could be, my tension, I could be working a little more tight. So now all you do, and then after you wash it, see, it's just a little more snug. And if I look at the other ones, just a little bit more snug. Each of the yarns will work up a little differently. This one's just more easy to slip on. So is this one. I've counted all my stitches, so I know I did my stitch count right. And the yarn is not too different than the other ones, but I could have just been working harder. So, I mean, it goes by your gauge. I mean, there's no gauge for it, but it goes by the gauge, kind of, sort of, a little bit. And because, if you work a little tighter, your stitches are going to be a little tighter. So I'm a little bit of an irregular knitter and crocheter. Sometimes I start off really loosey-goosey and then I go tight. So that's it. It's done. Then all you're going to do is, everybody snips off differently. Take your scissors, and I cut from below the last stitch, that strand, and I bring it through the top. I showed you before, like I do, and I snip through like this. You can use your embroidery needle, or let's see, Let me line them up, see how. Oh, there. This one's just a little bit skinnier. Could be the yarn, I don't know. We'll see. I didn't miss any stitches. I counted them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got my 9 here. I got my 6 around. But imagine now, this is how you can play with it. If you wanted to make a smaller one, for somebody with a smaller hand, you could just do less rows here, and or less chains. Instead of doing 9 or 10 and then chain, going into the second chain and then it being 9, you could do like 7, say for a small child. If you want to do maybe mother-daughter matching gloves, or little sisters all in the same little Christmas outfit, and little hats with little gloves, you know, you could do that too. It's cute. I'm going to take a look at the thumb gusset and make sure I've done it right. So I'm not going to fasten in right now, but I'm sure that I have. If I didn't, I told you the directions right. But I think it's really the way I'm not a very regular crocheter. So you would just go in like so, and you would just take a stitch wherever you I don't want to fasten in too much because I might unwind. But you would just fasten it in different directions, up and down. To me, I think this area needs to be a little bit wider, just a little wider up in here. So I'm probably going to take a second look at it. But it fits fine. And by the time you wash it and block it, it's going to stretch out even more. So keep that in mind. Yeah, it's comfy. It's just not as wide as these. But these have a lot of room in them too. So a little bit. This is a thicker yarn, and this is a thinner yarn. That's what it is. So you have like a little bit more room in this one to play with. Okay, so that's it. I hope everyone will enjoy making these. And thank you, Bron, for the beautiful, beautiful pattern. And just get making stuff for the holidays and for fun and for gift giving, right? Just little things. You don't have to go crazy doing a lot of big, expensive things. Just take your time with love and make something, you know, think of their personality, the color they like. Like the lady I'm making this for, I'm thinking she's got kind of reddish auburn hair, and green always looks good on her, and blues, so that's a color I would think to see on her, so that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so have fun with it. Thanks for watching, and be sure to get on over to Brons Blog and give her a big thank you for this wonderful download. Thank you, Bron Green, for uploading this beautiful pattern for everyone to have fun with. And thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.